my understanding of peer assessment is that it is fundamentally the same processes that you would use to assess your own work, but now applied to the work of a classmate, a peer. The social and psychological factors are somewhat different because there are friendship-hatred effects. We dump kids into classrooms. They don't get to choose who's their classmates. Some of those classmates may be their friends, and almost every mommy and daddy, that's what they want. Some of them may be the opposite of friends. Some they may have just neutral feelings about. And so friendship or enmity can color the desire, drive, or need to be honest. And that's a problem that the self can have within themselves, but certainly is much more explicit in interactions between peers. If I don't trust you to not get angry when I tell you something bad about your work, or not just bad, but weak or missing or poor quality, then I'm likely to avoid telling you those things. If I'm attracted to you and I don't want you to think badly of me, then I'm motivated to massage the message so that you don't see that I'm saying something bad, and I might obscure. And in one of our papers, we encountered and described that very relationship, the Nancy loves Jacob effect, perhaps more common in adolescence in high school than in primary school, but it happens. So the complicated relationships between peers that are completely independent of the work can interfere with the ability of people to say, actually, this part's not very good, or actually, this is good. Peer assessment requires a commitment of trust, both ways, that you will do your very best to tell me the truth as you understand it, even though you're not an expert, and I will do my very best not to get angry, not to blame you, not to attack you and say you're a dumbass or whatever. There's a bond of agreement, of trusting each other. I know you're not an expert, I know I'm not an expert, but we're going to work together on this. And that's an extra problem that might not necessarily apply in self-assessment. It also means that teachers have to be involved in not consistently allowing kids to just choose their peers. One of the things that's clear is you get little friendship gangs. I'll mark you high if you mark me high. And because that's human nature. So what we want in this case is teachers mixing those peer combinations. Research done at university makes it clear that what peers should be doing is not very much. If you're asking a student to respond to more than 3 other classmates, you're asking them to do too much. And I don't think that's usually a problem. My own experience suggests to me that if teachers are used to responding and analyzing student work using a complex rubric of many dimensions, where they're scoring things for this, X, Y, and Z, that I don't think is really what you should expect a student to do when evaluating or responding to a peer. I like to give peers a simple holistic scale. For example, in group work, a nice way to tell if someone has made a positive contribution to a group is to ask other group members on a simple scale to rate every other person. And I would create a scale that has at one end, oh, please never put me with this person again, to, oh, I would follow this person anywhere. And if you had stopping points that showed the degree of engagement with that person, that would give you a really good clue as to whether the person was being an effective leader or contributor to a group. So I think a more holistic judgment for peers rather than the detailed analytic judgments, those are too hard. If you really want to work with analytic, I'd say, okay, today we only want to mark on how this essay is structured and organized. Don't worry about the spelling and grammar and punctuation. All of those things are not unimportant, but today we're going to focus on this because it's part of how you're going to learn to improve your own work by looking at other people's work and thinking analytically about it. So if we make the task too hard, it is a problem.